Hi there. My name is Johnny. I am the head of the foreign language department at ICESI University. This question is kind of hard to answer. I mean, what makes a good teacher? I think that there's some things that actually make good teachers in our context. Number one is I think we might understand that as we are language experts. I mean, we might be able to understand, to be knowledgeable about what it implies to teach a language. What is it that is behind the whole process of teaching a language? Which means that we need to understand that, for example, promoting the communicative competence implies that we need to address two dimensions such as linguistic competence, social linguistic competence, pragmatic competence, um, discourse competence, strategic competence, etc., etc. So, as teachers, we might understand that we need to be prepared in these dimensions. We need to be able to apply the theory about language teaching and language learning in our practices. Is we need to be able to understand that everything that we do in class must be connected to theory or to whatever has been discussed about what we're doing. So to say that is that you need to study, you need to prepare yourself, you need to learn about all these issues, especially when you're becoming an English teacher. Because honestly, many people ended up teaching English just because they speak English, but that's not enough. I mean, if you're not able to really have a very strong theoretical background, it does not mean that you have to become like an intellectual in this field, but at least to understand what we're doing. It really allows you to be able to prepare and to create new things. For example, if you're talking about task-based approach, some teachers would say, "Hey, tell me how to do it. Just the ABC, the procedures, and what are the steps that I should follow." But I think we need to understand what it implies to enhance learning through text. So that's key. So we need to go and understand what is a task, what is a pedagogical task, what are the principles of learning and teaching behind the whole process of using tasks in our classes. So that's the key. If we just apply and follow instructions like a recipe, we will not actually do our best. On the other hand, I think we need to be really it is connected. If you own the field, if you own the theoretical background, I mean what the discussions, you will be able to design more meaningful activities and especially learning experiences that are going to be more effective for your students because you know what implies to, for example, do certain activities in class. It is not just by following a recipe, it's by really creating something that actually takes into account your audience, takes into account your context, takes into account cognitive factors and so forth, sociological, social linguistic factors, etc., etc. So I think it's a very complex thing, you know, and of course I think we should be very creative, and creative goes beyond having the cool activities. Of course that's part of it, but being creative is being able to answer to the needs of your students and the context in a way that can be that can in which you can innovate uh, in a more effective way. And of course you need to show interest and enthusiasm in what you're doing, and that's key. If you come to a class like, okay, I'm teaching because I happen to be here and speak English and they needed a teacher, and I'm a miserable teacher, I hate doing this planning and all this stuff, of course students will feel it. I think the key is usually when you've been teaching for many years, I think you get bored of doing the same things and I think it has to do with that you're not really uh, growing in this field and going beyond and learning new things. I'm a sociologist. I'm not. I didn't. I didn't study to become an English teacher, and I studied teaching in an institute, and I started teaching with following the recipe, following the steps they taught me at the institution. But eventually, I started discovering. I discovered that in order for me to really change things and be more effective in my teaching, I needed to learn more things. So that's what I started learning about social linguistics, about methodologies, and so forth. So I think all that combination, I mean, the experience that you have in class, enriched by the theoretical background, really allows you to create new things and to become a more effective teacher. And I think that's pretty much it. And probably that's, I don't know if that makes me a good teacher or not, but at least it shows that I do not see myself as a person who just needs recipes and the ABC to do my teaching. In short words, I'm able to create new things. I'm able to adapt new things. I'm able to own my practice. I think it's own it. That's the word. I need to own my practice, which really shapes my identity as a language teacher. And that's the key. And that's the reason why many people, I mean, and I think that's key. If you own your practice, if you really shape this identity, trust me, our profession will be more recognized in in our society. Yes, so let's go beyond just following recipes and the ABC. Is go beyond there and try to see, okay, I can do new things. I can create. I can adapt. I can be a real expert in the field. And it's more than being intellectual. No, it's that you really know what to do and how to do it because you know why you're doing it. Thank you very much and for listening. Bye.